Avast, ahoy, g'day, once again to ye mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a tremendous cart full of pleasure to welcome ye all once again to the Humblewood. Arr. To me screen right, I have me hearty crew, the terrific Mitch Earnshaw, the talented AJ Winters, the tumultuous D-Rab, and the tantalizing Rachel Foucar. And behind the scenes today, we have the tireless Serum76. We must also shout out to our trendy artist Brepai and the Deck of Many, who are the minds behind this particular setting. And we have some twinkly news. We have a sponsor for tonight. Woot & Forge. They design and manufacture high-quality tabletop products, tabletop gaming products, using beautiful Australian and exotic hardwoods. They are a local WA group, people, organization, company. That's probably the word they use. And they do custom orders. So check out their incredible work on their website, wootandforge.com, and stay tuned for an amazing giveaway later in the season. Oh, fancy stuff. I'm excited. So, it is good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fucking while, hey. So, guys, would you like to say hi? Tell me, who are you and where are you from? Trish, begin.
Hello, my name's Rachel Foucar, and I'm from here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel Foucar, and I also wrote a book one time called The Rings of Mars, and you can get that right now from your local internet.
None of that foreign internet. Don't want any of that stuff.
Nah, local internet only.
Yeah, great. Mr. Mitch, tell us about yourself.
How you doing, everybody? I am Mitch Earnshaw, and you can find me on Twitter at Mitch_Earnshaw. You'll see the socials that have just popped up there. And you can follow me if you like things like random stuff like sumo and cute kitties and people doing random things. And I'm so excited to be back here. It's been a hot minute since I've been on Twitch, and I'm just glad to be doing some role playing with this amazing crew. So thank you for having me back, everybody.
Oh, all the feels, all the love. And let's keep it going. D-Rab.
Oh, goodness. Hi, I'm Dan. You can find me also here. Professional lurker hiding in the meat space. So you really can't find me anywhere but Roll for Damage's Discord. That's where I'm at if you also watch the show and watch all the VODs, because there's a thing to do if you haven't yet. I can't wait to play this boy again. Oh, he's so concerned at that intro screen. Thank you so much, Brepai.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's me. Love you guys.
Oh, and we have the beautiful AJ.
Hi, I'm so excited to be back. You can find me here on Roll for Damage doing Academy on Thursday nights. But you can also find me on Instagram at AJWintersVO, where I keep you up to date with all the creative things I'm doing, like voice acting and script writing and producing content. It's great fun. So, yay. But today I get to just be Jude Littlefoot. Yeah.
And I am Josh the Pirate. I am a DM and role player local to Perth. I do puppetry. I do acting in the real life meat space. I teach, and I am the DM for Humblewood, and I'm fucking excited for that. So I think, because it's been a bit of a while, we should probably have a bit of a recap. What the fuck happened last time, Rach?
Oh, Jude.
Well, Jude, if you want to.
Jude, no, dibs. I have dibs. I have things to say. You can do the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do the next
Promise.
one. I want Jude to do the next one.
Alrighty. We started the last session locked in a dungeon, which is always a great way to start, at the Bandit Coalition HQ. Helvig used his bug friends to send a message to Benna Seridan, who then paid us a visit despite Krull trying to stop her. And we came to an agreement. She agreed to come with us to Alderheart to compromise if we agreed to be responsible for her safety. which seemed like a fair deal to us because we are a very responsible bunch. Responsible. Benna busted us. The most responsible group of woodland creatures you will ever meet. That's us.
Definitely.
Benna busted us out of our cell and we left the building only to immediately run into Kral and his goons. Some very heated words were exchanged, and then Nevermore kicked off the battle with his shatter spell, dealing an absurd amount of damage to Kral and his buddies, which was awesome.
Really anticlimactic.
Kral, of course. Kral didn't love this. Nope. He wasn't happy, so he decided to carve out Nevermore's eye, which was very mature and cool of him. And this sent the rest of us into like a state of fury, and then we kicked some serious bandit ass because you don't hurt our friend, damn it.
No.
I got stabbed and then revived and then stabbed again immediately, which was great. I do love that. Yeah. Helvig like tackled their healer so he couldn't heal Kral, which was great. Pacifist boy, just no healing here. And then, just as things were turning really nasty, my girl Kesh showed up and they surrendered after that. At the sight of Kesh, no more battle. The remaining bandits let us win. After the battle, Jude was very upset by the implication that we aren't good people, but fortunately Helvig was there to comfort her. And we all had a moment of, no, we're good. We're good. We're doing the right thing, right?
We're all good people, right? We're not horrible murderers. No, yeah.
Yeah, like a little bit of murder, like who doesn't? It's fine. Anyway, then my parents showed up, who were staying at the Bandit Coalition encampment, and my mum hugged everyone, which was great. I told her I was very sorry for leaving, and she told me I have nothing to apologize for, which made me happy, but I didn't cry because I'm a rogue badass who doesn't feel emotion. I definitely didn't cry.
I definitely cried.
I
cried.
We all cried. Everyone was crying. That is the most
recent time in my life that I cried.
Excellent.
I'm not too manly to say that.
And then after we'd all finished crying, we set off to escort Benna to Alderheart. And that's where we left off.
You did do that. And look, it all went very well. So I now must remind our gorgeous, intrepid, and just gosh darn smashing audience to please like, follow, subscribe, all the things. We have all of our socials, and our new producer, AJ, can catch you up on all the episodes that she will put up. And you can catch up all the episodes you missed, or, well, all of last year. Hopefully you didn't miss them, but you may have, on YouTube. Well, mateys, may matronly Mapatch hug you heartily, and all your bandit generals prove to be well-intentioned and reasonable as we venture, for the first time of 2021, into the Humblewood.
Huzzah!
Huzzah indeed.
I'm so excited.
We returned to Alderheart. The trip back was mostly uneventful. There was a minor run-in with the bandit patrol, but Benna is their boss, so that was quite easily dealt with. Arriving at the city gates with the leader of the bandits was also an interesting experience, and quite a lot of negotiation had to be done to see her brought in, not in chains. However, the council convened an emergency session, and the discussion lasted long into the night. After saying your part, you guys were thanked for your service, and at a confirming nod from Benna that she was going to be fine, you returned to your lodgings at the Blade and Talon. The following day, you were summoned, you have just been summoned early in the morning by a member of the Perch Guard to the Council Square, where an announcement is to be made. When you get there, the place is absolutely packed. The council is all standing outside their chambers, looking tired but satisfied. There is no sign of Benna at all. The guard who brought you indicates for you to follow him and makes his way through the crowd, leading you to the side of the steps and that the council are at the top of. As you arrive, the stately council speaker, Beta, catches your eye and smiles, then raises her hand. A hush falls across the crowd. Citizens of the Humblewood, I have momentous news. Thanks to the valiant efforts of these fine citizens, she indicates you guys, and a murmur of approval sweeps the audience, the threat of the bandit coalition has been effectively neutralized. I hereby name them the Defenders of Alderheart. This brings a roar of applause, which takes a moment to calm. Though, through intense negotiations with the bandit leader, Benna Seridan, at this, Benna steps forward out of the council hall with a couple of guards flanking her, but clearly for her protection, not because she's under arrest, and the crowd's volume dims expectantly. Brought here by these heroes, your council has brought about the complete disarmament of the coalition. In its place, a new organization, the Wildwood Brigade, commanded by General Seridan, will oversee the disarmament of any remaining coalition forces and the resumption of disaster relief and support for the areas of the wood most affected by the recent fires. General? At this, Beta gestures for Benna to step forward. The scarred servant woman takes her time, still clearly tired, but apparently satisfied with the arrangement. Thank you, Speaker. It is good to finally be able to stand here. For a long time, I feared this day would not come. And I can honestly say that without the help and vision of these fine people here, I don't think it would have. And she looks over at you guys, and there is a smile of genuine gratitude. But it has. And now is the time for rebuilding, both of the wood and of trust, so that together we can emerge from this even stronger than before. The crowd roars, and life begins to settle down in the capital. As people begin to filter away after the announcement and the council leave, Benna approaches you guys. I wanted to thank you personally. I hold your oath to me fulfilled, and if you would accept them, I have a gift. A member of the Perch Guard...
gifts.
A member of the Perch Guard runs over and hands her a small little bundle of red felt. She opens it and examines the contents. You can't see it yet. And then she turns it and shows you. She smiles. She's clearly happy with what's inside. She turns around and shows you. These are the first of, hopefully, a great many. Inside are 5 little bronze badges. She takes one and pins it to the lapel of her robe. It reads, Benna Seridan, General, Wildwood Brigade. It's kind of nice to be official. The others, our audience can see on the screen, the wonderful artwork done by our amazing Brepai. Currently you can see Honorary Wildwood Brigade Officer Nevermore. And that's what Nevermore's one says. Yeah, so you each get an honorary membership to the Wildwood Brigade. This does not unfortunately mean you're a salaried employee, but it also doesn't mean you're obliged to work for them full time.
Benna, I just have a quick question, if I may interrupt.
Of course.
So I note that mine says officer on it. Is there some sort of ranking system? Because to me, it would seem like officer is ranked above, say, detective or medic or scout. Is that correct?
She smiles and says, these are honorary titles. There is, if you choose amongst yourself, a hierarchy.
Oh, well, no, I'm screwed. It is worth a shot.
All of these are titles unique to you. The ranking system in the brigade is yet to be fully locked down, but it will have a military structure, so captain, major, and that sort of thing. Officer is an acknowledgement of your skills.
Thank
So
you.
detective is an acknowledgement of my skill?
Of course.
I am a really good detective.
I assumed. Then she says, yeah, I believe the reward promised to you for my capture was whatever loot you could take from my castle.
Yeah.
She says that this is said with a grin. Unfortunate for you that I was so easy to detain that no looting was possible. Luckily, as the Wildwood Brigade is an official element of the Humblewood bureaucracy, and I am its commander, I have certain powers of requisition. She hands each of you a piece of paper. These are good for anywhere in the Alderheart, except possibly the nastier side of the Undercommon. Each is good for 400 gold pieces worth of requisitions. If you require any new equipment or armaments, these would be appropriate to use for them. Any proprietor can redeem them against their taxes or the general treasury. It just saves you having to carry around 400 gold pieces. It's much more convenient.
I don't think I'll be holding on to this for very long.
Yeah, I
much is
heard
it?
that right. Right for 400.
400. Yes. A small price to pay for bringing peace to the wood. I hope you would agree.
I have one other request, if I may. I'll point up at my eye. Is there somebody around here that can possibly fix that for me?
I am afraid I don't know the city very well. I have not lived here in a long time.
I could ask Peter.
She would probably be the best person to ask. There is one other thing. While my title remains general, one hopes the fighting for me is done, which means I will no longer be needing this. And she reaches down to the blade at her waist and draws it. It is a longsword, about 6.5 feet long, finely crafted with delicate etchings and golden quillions in the shape of elm leaves. They've got a striated edges, and it resonates. You can see it sort of vaguely hum with basically the power of life in it. It's clearly a magical blade. Nevermore, you can spot that immediately. This is a magic weapon. Perhaps you can put it to better use than I.
I don't know if I'd be able to even lift the thing, so perhaps one of the others.
She actually says you might be surprised. And you can see in her hands it clearly has a lot of heft. But she hands it to you, and you take it expecting it to be really heavy. And it feels not light, but it feels like you could wield it.
Yeah. Yeah, swords are so close and personal.
And also, she's a good 1.5 feet taller than you, and as you take it, it shrinks.
Well, Jude, here you go.
It could be a longsword for Trish or Jude or Helvig or Nevermore. It's the appropriate size blade. You hand it to Jude, and it shrinks down to only about 3 feet long.
What are the magical properties of this item, Benna? Because it seems to be magical.
Oh, it
Careful
is.
with it.
It carries the magic of life and creation in it. A bound spell to make the area around you hazardous to your enemies. And also it is unusually sharp. Mechanically, it's a +1 magic sword. It can be either a short sword or a long sword, depending on what the owner wishes it to be. And it carries 2 castings of the... it has 2 charges, and a charge can be expended as an action to cast... have the rules for it here. I believe it is...
Our word, death?
No,
yes.
I learned my lesson from last time I ran this bloody game.
The
Blade of the
life-giving
Wood.
sword.
Spike Growth,
Oh.
which is a spell unique to the Humblewood. It's in the Humblewood book, and it basically just makes the terrain around you spiky. I will dig up the rules for it in the break, but it's you can cast it twice, and it regains a charge every day.
Nevermore.
Yes.
Can I keep it?
Well, I mean, I don't want it, and I think it's a discussion you should have with the others. Just to see. I'm fine with you having it, Jude.
Trish?
Oh, look, I couldn't take it from you. It's clearly made you so happy. It's yours. That's your sword. It looks good in
go
your
on.
hands.
No!
Benna
God.
takes the scabbard off her belt and puts it back over the blade, seeing Jude just waving the sword around, and the scabbard shrinks down to the correct size for the blade. And she says, "Well, I was about to say I was going to go and get some sleep, but actually I believe I am being shown to the new headquarters of my organization. Hopefully sometime in the next day or so I will be allowed to close my eyes, but it was a pleasure and an honor working with you.
Well,
I hope
if
to
you
do
should
so
have any-
again."
Yeah, I was about to say, if you should have any need of us, we'll probably be around town.
Be
for a
careful
little
what you
while,
wish for, my
potentially.
friend.
Well, I mean, of course. But we have a little bit of a shopping trip to do, probably.
Yeah, just send like a bug over like I did for you.
Very well.
Don't you have a muffin bag to pick up, Jude?
Bag. Do you think
Um,
it's ready?
Quite possibly.
I would need to buy
Benna
muffins.
bows and takes her leave of you.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Is Beta around anywhere?
She has gone back into the council chambers, and given that they were up all night talking to Benna, she may well have gone to bed.
I want my damn eye fixed. I can.
Like,
do
you can
without
ask
it for
around.
another
There'd
day.
be any number of places that might be able to help you out.
But I don't want to pay for it. That's the
Therein
difference.
lies the problem.
Yes.
They've rewarded you, like they've given the group 1,200 gold.
Well, 1,600.
Sorry, 1,600. Yeah. So yeah, that's sort of. They're like, hey, we're good, right? We're square. No
Fine.
expensive healing spells. If you want that, that's what that's for.
All right. I'll go see how much it costs, I guess. I'm about to sneeze.
Oh, strategic mute. All right. So yeah, you are in the capital city of the Humblewood. You have 400 gold pieces, or a requisition ship for 400 gold pieces, burning holes in your pockets as we speak. You've just had a good night's sleep, and you've just been told that you're not obliged to be the bodyguards of a bandit general anymore. The world is your soft gap.
That's your job.
Well, I need to find some healing
yeah.
for this disgusting scar thing on my face, so
Sure.
I'm about to go do that. I don't know what the rest of you will do.
I'm going to tag along with Nevermore in case his face explodes when they try and fix him.
That's
Yeah.
something that can happen.
I'm assuming so. Magic's scary.
Well, no,
What?
I know that it cannot happen. My face will not explode through healing.
That's a good idea.
That's good.
Thank you, Red.
Keep that positive attitude, Nevermore. That's so good.
Shut up,
So
Trish!
brave.
Shut up.
I want to go get my backpack.
I'll come with you. I actually don't know what to do with 400.
Well, how
How
about we
much
meet
is
you with
400
Eliza's?
gold?
Not many
Eliza-
people can see that much in their lives, Jude.
What?
Not
Hey,
many
Helvig.
Jude
people
has
can.
never had
Helvig.
money.
Yeah.
Helvig, I'm going to lean in. Make sure she doesn't spend it on stupid shit. Okay, going to head off now. Let's go, Trish.
Okay.
All right. So you two go looking for a cleric, presumably. That'd be the
Yeah,
you want
some sort of
high-end
temple
magic healing.
Yeah.
There is a temple in the canopy. It's actually just like it's literally across the square from where the council meet. The high cathedral is up there. It's the fanciest temple in all of Alderheart, which would probably mean it's got the best clerics. So you can definitely head in there straight away. Whilst Helvig and Jude head down into the markets to Eliza's Emporium in search of a muffin bag of holding. A bag of muffin holding. Yep. Cool. Great. Well, we will do. So you guys are traveling down. Let's do Nevermore and Trish first. So you head into the cathedral. It's a warm day outside, but as soon as you enter, it's pleasant and cool. The whole area has a sort of calming aura to it. Incense floats in the air from several braziers on the wall. It's a large structure. It's pretty cool. It looks like it was, rather than built, it grew. This is the work of generations of clerics and probably druids as well. Well, most clerics you would know in the Humblewood have a nature aspect to them, so druids and clerics pretty much the same thing in this setting. They basically encouraged the tree to grow in this manner. The only stuff that isn't actually just part of the tree you're all in would be the furniture.
Just be wary when you walk through the front door. Sometimes people burst into flames when they're, not nice types.
Haha.
Yes.
Very funny.
I'm just going to stand a little bit back from you, and I'll slowly back through the doorway.
Listen, Nevermore, I'm the nicest person you've ever met. I'm gonna be fine.
Careful.
With Yvonne for our mother, Trish won't burst into flames. The cleansing power of Mum's hugs has washed her sins away, and you both signally failed to burst into flames upon entering the cathedral. There are not stained glass windows. The windows are actually very thin, sort of cellulose. It's leaves.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But very, very thin, but it appears very strong. So all the light coming in is sort of shades of green, but it's well lit inside from the light streaming in through them. And there's lines of pews, and there is also sort of rooms off to the sides that you can see. There is no congregation in at the moment, but there are several groups of people spread around, talking to various preachers and clerics.
I'll look for one who seems to be free and available to talk to.
There is up at the high altar. There is somebody who is adjusting things and looks like they're preparing for a ceremony, but it doesn't appear to be any time soon. You're not going to be interrupting anything important.
Wonderful. Excuse me, good one. I'll bow. I am Officer Nevermore of the Wildwood Brigade.
Of the Defenders of Alderheart. Yes, I know. Welcome, young man.
Yes, you probably saw us up on the stage out there a little bit earlier.
I did. I was out there 20 minutes ago when it happened. Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
He is a gallus with the appearance of a rooster, and he is wearing a long light green robe with a purple. Is it called a gi? The really wide Japanese style kimono belts. I think it's called a gi. It's that sort of thing, and it appears to have pockets, and so he can tuck things into his cummerbund, he bows, not deeply, but he bows respectfully to both of you, and he says, "Of what assistance may I be?"
I was looking to make a monetary donation, in fact, for a service in return, if possible. See this here. During our expedition to the bandit keep, I had my eye sliced open by the evil bandit general. And I mean, this is unfortunately and I just kind of point to my face. Is there something
He says, "Well,
you could do
may
about
I?"
that for the officer?
And he leans forward and says, "Well, of course, I will see what I can do." He peels up your eye, like the eye patch.
Don't look, Trish.
This is beyond my skill, I'm afraid. I shall hang on. Wait a moment. And he looks around and spots in the corner a Corvum woman, Sister Mercia. Would you assist me, please? And she is wearing similar robes, but there is symbols of the Order of Healing upon them. So she is clearly, this is the person you really wanted to speak to. She comes over and she says, she takes a closer look at your eye, even closer than he did, and said, "Just be very, very still. And I'm going to cast a spell, so don't be alarmed." And she focuses for about 20, 30 seconds and then recoils from you. And says, "Oh my goodness." And she seems genuinely shocked and taken aback and says, "This, one moment," whispers something to the cleric, and the cleric sort of takes a step back as well. The two of them look genuinely unsettled, like quite almost fearful of you.
What's on my face?
He says, "Surely not," and does has another closer look himself. And it's, you haven't had, and then he looks at Trish. He says, "You haven't noticed any personality changes?"
Well, he's gotten nicer.
Have I, though?
Well,
actually, yes, I have,
no
haven't I?
violent tendency, no unusually violent tendencies.
Nevermore's on a lot of things, but I wouldn't call him violent.
Right. Not. This is. Then it's probably nothing.
It doesn't seem to be nothing. You haven't fixed it. So, and you are acting like, oh, tell me what's going on, please.
What caused the injury?
Evil bandit lord.
No.
Man.
What weapon? What did he use?
It was a knife, wasn't it?
It's some sort of knife, I think.
Can you describe it?
Yes, actually, I do have perfect recall for the last month.
It was actually a fairly It was actually a fairly unusual looking blade. It wasn't just your average sort of dagger. It was vaguely sickle shaped. It had a couple of unusual like protuberances, like unnecessary pointy bits. And the metal had an unusual reddish tinge to it.
Yes, so that's pretty much the exact description.
He goes, right. Healing it is of course possible. The problem is doing so will cause your head to explode.
This is why I came. Mm-hmm.
I'll just turn to Trish and look at Trish.
Or it might, anyway. That is, of course, the upper end of the negative side effects. There is there is something in the wound, and extracting it is beyond, I'm afraid, any cleric in this city. Mostly the material components for the spell is the issue, as in we don't have them.
And what may they be, if I might ask?
He's not struggling because he doesn't know he's struggling, but to put it into words, he says, "Well, you would need basically raw power, something to drive the entity in the wound out."
Entity in the wound. Oh my!
Yes,
I'm sorry, I have something in my face.
part of the spirit of a lesser demon.
What the fuck? Oh, Lord.
It was
sorry for.
No, that's understandable. They do try and keep your voice down.
Apologies, yes.
No. Well, it's sort of obviously this is not ideal news for you.
No, not ideal. I get it. Haha.
I apologize. That was not an intended. I will laugh about that later. It was an incredibly clever pun of me that I didn't intend. Yes, we, some sort of raw magical essence distilled into a vial or jar or something. Possibly a pearl of power. If you happen across one, they are quite rare. Basically just raw magical essence distilled into something that one can then channel into the wound to remove the spirit. If you have felt no ill effects, then there probably won't be any. It is a nascent, small part of a nascent entity trapped, unfortunately, within the scar tissue. Had the wound not be sealed, I might have been able to extract it, but it's now sort of taken root.
What kind of negative effects could it potentially have?
Well,
and more importantly, what might bring those on? Because I'd like to avoid them at all costs.
Severe physical injury, extremes of stress.
Well, now I'm fucked because I'm stressed all the time around it. Sorry for swearing. I'm stressed all the time around this lot.
Goodness, Nevermore, where's your decorum?
Whatever.
Thank you, Sister Mercia. And Sister Mercia leaves quite rapidly. Yes, it could be, there could be some arguably positive effects. Your attunement to, actually, he says, please, I cannot do this here. Wait, no, actually, this might work. And this I can do here. And he speaks a language, Trish, you do not understand what is being said. Nevermore, can I get an Arcana check from you, please?
Absolutely. Arcana check.
Let's roll.
First roll of the campaign. 19! Bodes well. Yeah, you definitely understand what he is saying. This was it was a hard one as well, but you got it. So the noises that come out of his mouth, Trish, are just flowing, lilting. It sounds like almost like if a babbling brook was making words, that I actually don't want to try and replicate it. It sounds like a river if a river could talk. And Nevermore, what he says is, I am currently speaking the language of the angels, or the Amaranthines. But it's the Amaranthines, there is no sort of direct correlation, but the servants of the Amaranthines. I
do understand you. Yes.
Well, that's good. What would be happening there is that the entity in your eye might not actually be a bad one. It is simply an extra Palinar entity that has donated a piece of its spirit to the blade, the creation of the blade with which your eye was extracted. And that entity presumably spoke that language. I was going to try the other end of that spectrum.
Understood.
But I don't want to do that, obviously, in here. In fact, I'd rather my colleagues didn't even know I know it. I don't know it fluently, but a few words.
Sure, buddy.
I'm going to start.
Gone very like.
I'm going to root around in my coin purse, and I'll pull out 10 gold pieces. And I'd like to make this donation, even though you haven't really done very much. Thank you for your time. And now I know that I have some weird thing in my face, and it's going to be there forever. But perhaps I get to accessorize it.
Possibly a good idea. Yes.
Idea.
Do your best to avoid damaging the area further. I know, obviously, that's probably something you would want to do anyway. But, you know, if it's a choice between getting your hand burnt or your face burnt, I heartily endorse the hand.
Got it. Put my hand in front of my eye.
If one must make a choice.
Yes. I'm sure something will happen at some point in time in the next season, and I'll be hit in the face, and demons will spew forth of my head.
It's a good thing we're not battling fire, really.
Yes.
Yes. If you do feel any untoward effects, do feel free to come back. And he takes the coins, and we are always very grateful for any patronage. Thank you very much. Of course, the next time, there will be no further need for any donations. But yes, don't send a friend in. Crossing the threshold could, not necessarily, but could be unpleasant. I apologize. I hate being the bearer of bad news. But yes, if you do feel anything, do come back and see me. I may be able to assist in possibly some sort of warding or limiting spell.
Sorry, I didn't actually catch your name. What is your name?
Elswith.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Elswith. I will be very careful stepping across the threshold.
Should be fine, young man. Those pure of spirit can purify themselves, I find.
Pure of spirit, yes, of course. Farewell.
Yes.
The moment we get back through the threshold, I'm with Trish. Shut the hell up! I know what you're about to say. Your head's going to explode. Yes. Be careful stepping across the threshold. What the fuck? My face! I'll just start like crying.
I give you a hug. Nevermore. It's gonna be okay. Look, I know this is probably really scary. I can't even imagine, but we're gonna be there for you. We're gonna keep you safe, okay?
Okay. Oh, can we at least cover it with something beautiful?
Sure. Let's go buy you a scarf or something.
I want a cool eye patch with a gem in it.
Okay, a gem. Okay. I think we can find that.
Yes,
Let's get you something fancy. Cheer you up.
Let's join the others.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank
So
you, Trish.
we cut to the other two in the busy marketplace. And Jude is eating. Jude is walking around with an armful of muffins that she has presumably purchased with, and her requisition chit now has got like 3 crosses out of the value of it. It now says 400. It says 399 gold pieces. And then change, basically. And Jude has as many muffins as she is capable of carrying because she does not yet have her bag of muffin holding.
I feel like we should have done this after you got the bag.
No. Muffins are important, Helvig. This one is new. Have you tried the raspberry one? Try it.
No. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You find yourself at the door of Eliza's Emporium. and there is a cat lady sweeping a map that says "Welcome" and brackets "Wipe your feet."
Eliza!
Oh, my friends! I hear good many things. You are now important saviors of Alderheart. I knew this before. I was friends before you were important. Come in, please. Wipe
Do
your
you
feet.
have my muffin bag?
Ah, of course I do. What I say, I do. What Elleran say, Elleran do. This important phrase back home. Yes, I have made many inquiries. Eventually, I had to have custom made. And she pulls out from behind the counter and puts it down on the desk. It is. Jude, what color would you like it to be? I let you make this call.
Ooh.
Otherwise, it'll be pink with a unicorn on it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Can it be like the same sort of color as the ocarina, like a white opalescent-y?
Oh, sure. Yeah. It is that. It is a little backpack. It's much like one a 3-year-old would wear to carry like 5 things in. Like you can put a stuffed bear and a pencil sharpener and like a small notepad. That would be about the right size. And it has at the top a loop that is clearly for a leash, Helvig. It does not have a leash attached, however. Eliza says, I managed to find one that is not too large. And then there is no zip, obviously, but there is several toggles, wooden toggles holding the top closed. She undoes them, opens it up, and inside is inky blackness.
I immediately start chucking muffins into it.
And all of the muffins in your arms disappear into it. There are 14 muffins inside the bag. And she says, I believe, if my calculations are correct, that it will hold up to 300.
300 muffins?
Correct. You should be able to, and this added bonus feature, they will not go off. There is a preservative spell cast on it as well.
Only muffins, though?
Any baked good.
What else can I put in there?
Well, anything with gluten in it.
Okay.
Except scones. I kid, of course, scones.
Oh,
I don't love scones.
And then on the front of it, she says, there is also this, I think, is possibly even more useful. On the side, there is 2 little pouches on the side. One is open, and it contains a water container. And it's sort of a mesh, a sort of woven mesh that holds a water container. And on the other side, there is a second little bag, a little compartment with a couple of toggles closed. To seal it, you must do both the toggles up, and inside, again, inky blackness. And she says, put your arm all the way in. And Jude, you can put your arm all the way in, and when you're up to your shoulder, you hit the bottom. She says, this is a money pouch. Useful for storing a decent quantity of coin, but and nothing in there weighs anything.
Eliza!
You are satisfied?
Yes. Thank you.
I believe the agreed price we said was 45 gold pieces.
We'll give you 50.
You would give me 45, my friend.
Okay.
Perhaps you would be interested in some of my other wares?
Yes.
So Eliza shows you a couple of things. She says, I have a little bit larger stock. I have here, she pulls out a wand made of yew. It is sort of it's shaped a little bit like a unicorn spiral, but it's actually two branches of yew that have been grown around each other in a tight spiral. And she says, "This is the wand of web."
What does it do?
She says, and gestures up at the corner of the ceiling, and a large spider web shoots from the end of the web and just sort of attaches in the top corner of the room.
I'll buy it.
And she looks at Helvig and says, unless perhaps
Dude. Just let Eliza do the whole thing.
there are other things.
Yeah.
Your friend Trish, I suspect, would enjoy these, and holds up a pair of soft leather gloves. They are tan leather gloves. They don't have the fingers are cut off, and they have open backs. It's really just the palms and the knuckles that are covered by these gloves. And she says, "These are the gloves of light-fingeredness."
Are they not complete?
No, these are the way they are supposed to be.
But they don't have fingers.
That is for a reason. Anybody who is good with their hands will find these improve their ability quite a lot. Mechanically, a +5 bonus to sleight of hand and lockpicking. They're technically the gloves of thievery.
So like a masseuse, but for
Yes,
stuff.
that is a potential way to use them. And then she opens a little case with a couple of magic rings in it. Yeah. She says, one is a little, again, it's a spiral, but of gold. And it has a repeated wave motif. This one, are either of you any good at swimming?
I almost died in a frog, so no.
Yes, you did.
I think I sink now, and I like tap my silver.
Oh, of course. Well, if you wish to remedy that, this is the ring of swimming. Anyone who doesn't know how can. As
Cool.
easily as they can walk. In fact, actually, probably a little better. Mechanically, it gives you a swim speed of 40 feet.
That's so
and
bad.
the ability to breathe underwater.
Can be
And she says,
Sonic in water.
you can't walk on water, you can walk in water. If you are fully submerged, you can move at 40 feet a turn.
They just colorful ball in water.
Yeah, and that she says, with your discount, that would be 200 gold.
Wow. Okay.
And this one basically just adds a layer of magical protection to anyone who is wearing it. A unimaginatively named the Ring of Protection. It is actually a band made of small shields. And it's mechanically it's a +1 to your AC. Requires attunement. And that one is 400 gold. And she says, I think that is all that I have that may interest you. The markets outside, however, you could possibly pick up surprisingly sharp weapons or anything else you would be looking for.
How much was the magic fingering?
Which?
The
The swimming? Oh, those were 400 gold.
glove. Okay.
They are very useful. In the right hands, they could easily repay that investment.
Right.
Helvig,
Yeah.
should we get the gloves for Trish?
I think she would like it.
It could be a
It'd be
gift.
very useful for her. But
I want to get the wand of webbies.
The wand of web for you, 250 gold.
Done.
I mean, those are pretty useful, so that's not really a stupid thing.
Jude
I think to
immediately
myself,
takes it and starts making webs and
And
sneaks.
she says, careful, this has 8 charges. and it costs 1 charge to cast the spell. The charges recharge 2 every day, and if it runs out, it can become useless.
So just keep at least 1.
Make sure there is always at least 1 charge. If mechanically there's a 1 in 4 chance of it becoming just a stick if it ever runs out of charges.
Okay.
Like you would roll a d4, and if on a 1 it would be broken.
Jude casts twice and sings a little ditty. Sings.
And now a good portion of the inside of Eliza's shop is covered in spider webs.
Yes. Spider Jude! Spider Jude does whatever spider does. Do you know what spiders do?
They mostly cover my shop in webs.
Have you tried asking not for them not to do that?
Asking the spiders.
Yeah.
No, I don't speak spider.
Are there spiders in the wand? Hello,
No.
spiders.
If you know any spiders who are good at removing webs.
Ooh, sorry.
They're good at removing webs. Any spiders in the house right now, follow to me.
Yeah, 2 quite large spiders crawl out, one from under the counter and another looking a little bit disgruntled from behind one of the webs.
Oh, hello.
This is not where I was planning for this to go.
Oh, so sorry.
This is why I tell other DMs not to plan shit, because you just won't wind up doing it, so there's no fucking point.
Is it possible for you guys to move, not do your web stuff in here and do it maybe out there with some branches? I'm sure there's where you can be safe from the rain and stuff.
The spiders both the one that was under the counter has not been inconvenienced by Jude's actions at all, and just goes, yeah, fair enough, mate. Or words to that effect in spider. It just sounds like you see one of its 8 legs go, watch your chief, and leaves. The other one, however, returns behind the enormous web that is now quite convenient for it. It would catch all the things. After giving you the distinct impression that it will use this web until it is gone, and then it may leave.
Okay. It'll be fine, Eliza. They're going. That one's going to leave when the web's gone.
I don't mind them. They do get rid of other insects.
I didn't tell them to go far.
It's more the webs that I have an issue with.
So that's what they call to catch insects.
True.
Okay, so 250 gold, and I had 400, so I have 300 gold left.
Eliza says, may I have your requisition check? Because I must stamp it for the so that I may receive the funds. She performs the modifications to it correctly, and you see that she says, you see here is 400 we take off the 250 for the wand and 45 for the bag, leaving you with 104 and change after your other purchases.
Okay.
I wonder if
She
Trish
hands it back
spent
to you, and she stamps it with her sort of brand, with a magical ink, which is actually the ink. Actually, the stamp is a picture of Eliza's face in red, waving, and the ink moves. It waves. She says, "Worth every penny." That one.
Oh, yeah,
And
if we're gonna
yourself?
be in water? I'm just thinking, because we're gonna probably do, we kind of forget about the fire and death stuff, and it seems like the whole speech was about just fixing that stuff. I'm just wondering if there's gonna be a lot of water that I probably need to swim through.
I
I'm not
don't
sure.
know. I cannot guarantee the usefulness of the item, only that it works.
That's fair. Well, I'm not sure if Trish has spent hers, but I guess while I'm here, Then I'd like the glove, please.
Oh, it's certainly. She takes the gloves out and puts them in a nice box. Sort of, it's got felt lining. Sorry, not felt. What's the word? Like the prickly stuff, like fake grass, tiny little, yeah, that. Yeah, so it's a lovely, soft, velvety. That's the word I was looking for. Lining on the inside, and she hands it over to you and says, "And your cheat." She stamps it, and then she said, "I'll just take it, actually, if you don't mind."
No, that's fine. That was actually stressing me out. I'm glad I don't have it anymore.
Helvig, that is so sweet.
A pleasure.
I don't really need 400 gold pieces myself, so...
I was going to pitch in.
No, that's okay.
And then Nevermore and Trish, you probably catch up. You weren't overly long in the cathedral.
Hey,
All right, everybody, listen up. Trish has some bragging and some crap to tell all of you. Go for it, Trish. Take it away.
I wasn't going to brag.
Go on, tell them, Trish. Tell them about what's in my face.
Is it fixed?
As it turns out, Nevermore's little injury is going to be a little more difficult to fix than he initially thought.
Oh no!
It's one of those problems he can't simply throw money at, apparently.
Oh no!
But that's okay. We're going to keep him safe. There may or may not be something living inside his face.
Oh no!
My head might explode.
And his head might explode. And he shouldn't go into holy places because he might burst into flames.
And if I get touched by fire, I'm going to die. In my head.
We just don't want him getting any head
that
wounds.
Most of what you just said was not what the cleric said.
Okay, so basically...
You're catastrophizing pretty bad there.
Basically, when Kral sliced me with the blade had some sort of magical effect or entity within it. Entity being a thing, Jude, like a living thing.
I know.
Right? It was... Of course you did. Of course, you're a detective. So,
I am a really good detective.
I know that, Jude. I'm telling a story. Please listen. So, sliced my face, and the thing went into my eye and is now in my head. Right?
You have a knife in your head?
Sure. And basically it's in there and they can't get it out. Luckily there haven't been any effects as of yet, but I'd like all of you to just kind of watch over me, please, because I don't know, I might get crazy or something.
Crazy like what?
Crazy violent, apparently.
Oh.
But he's probably gonna be fine. It's fine.
I mean,
Just
I have not been violent ever. I've been an asshole, sure, but I've never been violent to any of you, so...
that's the important thing. As long as you're not violent to us, it's okay.
Correct.
But what's this fire thing?
Yeah,
are we gonna go to
I'm not-
fire stuff?
I can't get any damage to this area because damage to this area or stress could cause it to act or something along those
Eliza
lines.
has been listening keenly this entire time. She went to greet you, but this seemed important, so she's now waiting. But when Nevermore starts describing some sort of like wanting to protect that element of his face, she goes and disappears underneath the counter. Not scared, more just sort of like you can see an idea has crossed her mind. And then one of her paws comes up and grabs the box of rings. And it disappears back under the counter with her, and you hear crafting.
I see.
Carry on.
So yeah, there's that, and
So-
basically, please everybody just protect me.
No touching that spot, and no trying to heal it, because your head might explode.
But what is in your eye?
Where? The person we spoke to started talking to me in a different language, and Trish didn't understand it, and I'd never heard of it before, but for some reason my brain understood it, and they were speaking in essentially angelic tongue.
So functionally, Nevermore, you now speak Celestial.
Celestial, yes.
Oh.
And I understood what was being said, and I've heard bits and bobs while I was at the avium, but never did I understand it completely. So I wonder if I can
It was
speak
the
it.
weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life. It sounded like water coming from a beak. It was strange. Don't recommend. Don't want to hear it again. Freaked me out.
If you want to try speaking it,
I want to try speak it.
Are you proficient in performance?
Let's see.
Well, it does sound
I
like
am proficient in performance, actually.
Then you can. It would be. This is a performance check, but I want you to use your intelligence rather than your charisma. So it's functionally an Arcana check because presumably you're also proficient in
Okay, I
Arcana.
will
So
just
you can just roll
I'll
Arcana.
just roll Arcana, sure.
Yeah.
23.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Yeah. The pretty much the same language just comes out of his mouth.
Stop
it's-
it!
If anything, Trish, it sounds a little heavily accented. Like he's speaking it with a different accent, but yeah, it's very much. You managed to speak Celestial, Nevermore. Now you not only understand it, but you can apparently speak it too.
Oh, apparently I can talk it.
What did you say?
Eliza comes back and is like, "Did someone turn on the tap?" Oh, no.
Does Jude know any Celestial?
Roll me.
Religion?
History, religion. Yeah, religion. It would be religion.
Why is my religion -2?
Because your intelligence is -2. Best paladin ever.
Here we go.
Jude, you don't get what he's saying, but it sounds like you feel like you should.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought so as well.
You kind of feel like you could imagine, like if you close your eyes, you could easily imagine the paladin who took your oath, the VEG, speaking in the same tongue. Yeah. Eliza,
Hello, Eliza.
comes back
How
up.
you doing?
Yes, very well. I am sorry about your injury. I may have something to assist with it.
Tell me more.
And she pulls up this strip of black velvet and it's just plain black velvet, but it's got a gorgeous shimmer to the weave of the fabric, and it is clearly cut to be a eye patch. She puts it down on the counter and smooths it out, and you can see this little lump where just directly over where the eye would be. And if you press your fingers down on it, you can feel a ring is in it. She has, in the last minute, created this. She has sewn it. She has sewn basically a pocket into this eye patch and put one of the rings of protection in it. And she says, "This is the eye patch of protection."
Wonderful.
Specifically, the ring within the eye patch is actually the thing. The eye patch itself not magical, but
I mean, I've heard of a ring of protection, cloak of protection before, so I'm assuming it's functionally quite the same in the magical sense, yes?
very much so. It creates a magical field around yourself to add just a little layer of protection from
Might have to
incoming
take it to-
damage. But I
might have
feel
to
like
take
if
it
you
to a
put it over your
professional-
eye,
I might take it to a professional tailor and get a proper one made with a ring in it. Well, I mean, look, as much as I love your job, you only did spend 1 minute on it, unless you would like to.
this is
spend
really a
little bit
trial
more time on
process,
it.
sort of an idea of how you would wear it.
Okay.
I am not
sure,
offended. I am not a tailor.
I know you're a professional, much like myself. How much would that cost me? Because honestly, I'm 100% in.
This one is 400 gold.
Take my money, and I will give over the deed.
Yep.
While I have your attention, I
Hmm?
might see if you're able to source some other magical items for me. If you have the time.
I
don't
can
know.
always try.
Yes, I don't necessarily know when we'll be back in town, but we'll see. I was hoping to see if you could find what we knew in the avium as a wand of the war mage, empowering spells, basically through your wand. If you could try and source some sort of version of that, I know they come in different rarities. I'll leave that up to you.
Without wanting to do myself out of a commission, you would. Weaponry is not really my thing. The thing is, I know exactly where I would find it, and I feel it would just be unfair of me to not say, just go down the road.
I mean, I don't have the money at the moment anyway, so I'll have to. But still,
Literally 4 doors down, a chap called what was it? Oron. He is a Mapach, like Trish, and he is making very good magical implements, weapons. I believe he owns several tomes. He sells spell scrolls, but also I have seen more than one wand. I acquired the wand of web that your friend here bought from him. He had made too many bad deals, so I pick it up for good value. I would say go to him, because go to me, you would be charging the extra commission.
Good. Well, I mean, as much as I'd love to give you extra money, less money is good.
Yeah.
Can you also, however, keep your eyes peeled for something to protect from fire? Because I'm getting the impression that fire is
A lot of burning in
your
your future. Yeah.
Yes, lots of fire and
Fire and death.
yes, exactly. Thank you.
Hopefully neither.
And potentially something that might. This is I've never heard of before, but I mean, did you have any luck creating a muffin bag or finding a muffin bag?
Yes.
Okay.
Jude is sporting a very fashionable. It's adorable, but not fashionable. Mother of pearl backpack.
I see.
And she surreptitiously slides across the bench a sort of a length of leather strap, basically in the same color, with a silver fastening at the end that looks like it could just clip onto the loop at the top of it. She says, "That is there if you want it."
I do not lose my muffins.
I'll
Exactly.
snap it up. Thank you. It's almost like you predicted this. Are you able to find something potentially that might be able to, I guess, empower spells with water essence or ice essence in some way? Almost like transforming a spell to create a different element.
Again, I
Just
think
keep it in
Oron
mind.
is the one you want to talk to.
Okay, I'll have a talk to him then.
I'm going to sort of skip ahead now because we've been playing for about an hour and a half. Any further
Trish,
shopping?
you
Trish, yeah, sorry, yeah. Do you want to give Trish the gloves?
Yeah. I just go, hey, Trish, this was here before. I didn't know how long you guys were gonna take because, healing an eyeball. But here, I just kind of present it like this.
Oh, these are beautiful.
Nevermore, you can see immediately these would make her even better at thievery.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. Perfect.
Thank you.
Hey,
You didn't have to
welcome.
buy me these.
I mean,
Yes, we do.
it was around and the piece of paper was really stressing me out. So, here, it was fine.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe
yeah.
it will be like, apparently it's also good for massages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna.
That's information you have.
I'm gonna tuck that in the back of my brain for later.
Eliza smiles and goes, well. So yeah, the next few days pass. You just hang out in the city. No particular calls for your attention come up. Nevermore's trying to stay as calm and chill as possible and not go into any holy spaces. Jude, do you have anything
Every
you want?
morning, I create a web on Nevermore. Before he wakes up.
Roll stealth.
No.
Stealth.
This will be against Nevermore's passive perception.
Yes, 11.
9.
Nope. Nevermore, you do hear the door to your room open on the morning of the second day. And you probably don't think anything too much of it. And then a sort of secondary blanket appears on top of you. And a giggle is heard, and then the door closes again.
Whatever. No harm done.
You roll over. It's a little harder than
It's
normal
almost
to
like-
roll over.
It's like, I feel like it's like one of those weighted blankets that
Yeah.
you get.
It
It's
probably
like,
helps you sleep, to be honest. Yeah.
I'll
Do
just
you?
prestidigitate it off when I want to hop up.
You go. Yeah. It's actually it takes a bit of doing. It's designed to. The webs are designed to not be easily removed. But yeah, it sort of 30 seconds worth of effort can easily remove it and make it disappear. If you make those inquiries with Oren, the hedge mage, he can easily source anything that you're looking for, but it's a little bit beyond your price bracket. With the exception of an empowered wand, he could do you a +1 wand for around the 250 to 400 mark.
Yeah, I'll have to get that when I come back next time. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Thank you
worries.
very much.
What did you spend yours on?
My
Oh, that was at
400.
yeah.
I bought the ring. I bought the
So
ring eye patch.
yeah. And you presumably go and find and get that set into a nicer eye
if
patch.
if I could get it nice embroidered with some silver filigree, kind of like my cloak
Yeah.
and my robe.
It would cost you 2 gold pieces to
Yep,
sort of get
done.
that
I'll cross
sorted.
it off. Cool.
Trish, do you have anything you want to blow your coin on?
I can't think of anything, so I'm gonna hold on to it for future use.
Oh, the other question you had about was like, fire. Eliza did say, I mean, potions of fire resistance are relatively common. There is an alchemist 2 streets over. Mention my name, you get a small discount. It would be sort of to the tune of like 1%. But yeah, a potion of fire resistance costs 100 gold.
Okay. So I don't even have that
I
anyway.
buy one.
Jude buys 1 potion of fire resistance and has 4 gold coins left. And the seller takes your chit and just gives you 4 gold pieces left back instead. And so your change.
Thank you.
You're
How are you
welcome.
going to buy muffins, Jude?
Here's the 4 gold pieces.
I've already
I guess
got the
so.
muffins. You want one?
No. Thank you, though.
Helvig,
This-
anything you want to do?
No, I'm good. I'm just vibing because I don't have the stressful piece of paper working
Yeah.
on my conscience.
You've only got like 70 gold pieces in your pocket instead.
I have 39.
Oh, okay.
Stay
Apologies. Trish?
Well, now that I know about them, I'm gonna buy 4 of those potions, get rid of this piece of paper.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty useful.
You do that. The person also has potions of healing and superior healing.
Ooh, actually, that might be better. How much
Potions
is
of
a
healing go for 50 gold, and superior healing goes for 100. And you
4
can
superior
knock it-
healing potions. That's what I'm gonna buy.
Boom.
Potion
All
me
right,
up.
You have 4 potions of superior healing and 4 gold in change because you mentioned Eliza's name.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Sick. That's all that money spent. Excellent. All right. We'll take us to the next little scene. and then we'll have a little breaklet. So, over the next couple of days, the Wildwood Brigade is properly established, and uniforms for its official members start appearing with a little bit of regularity in the city. The uniform is a green cloak over leather, sort of normally brown leather armor, with the sigil of the Wildwood Brigade, which is still being worked out a little bit, but it appears to be a talon grasping a spear and a burning torch. This to symbolize lighting the way and protection, embossed on the shield itself. What else is there? The headquarters are in the canopy, just down from the council chambers, and you see Benna in that area again. You also run into Kesh, who has been called to Alderheart, and basically she is taking over from Benna, running the Alderheart side of the Wildwood Brigade operation, while Benna returns to the crest and organizes things there, and also deals quietly with Kral. You notice no mention of Kral was made by the council. And Kesh informs you that Shyla, the Kral's subordinate, who was basically convinced to help Kesh look after the whole situation while Bennett came with you guys, is now running the rollout of support services and the commencement of aid to Meadowfen as a priority, and that's all based out of the crest. The other thing you see on the streets are a number of people, mainly birdfolk, in simple monastic-looking robes. Nevermore, you would be aware, and as would Trish, that these are tenders. So these are the tenders are an organization tasked with maintaining the forest and rebuilding areas damaged by fire. Specifically, this is their whole thing, but they are not a military organization, which is why they've been sort of grounded during the whole issue with the Bandit Coalition. So they're rather out on a limb here.
Are any of them the chicken rooster race? Any
Yes.
chicken tenders?
Yes.
Wonderful. Good. All right.
In fact, I was about to say you literally walk past one on a soapbox in the market. He's a frail-looking Gallus.
Gallus, thank you.
There you are. Standing on a soapbox on a corner, haranguing passers-by with stories of burning and dire warnings. He says, the fires are spreading more and more every day. We need to help to quell the blaze. Please join with the tenders and help us heal the wood. No one seems to be taking much interest in him, though. With the possible exception of a shy-looking Luma who stands next to him, but he's also dressed as a tender, so he's probably just a friend of his. And some people are actually openly derisive. That's what the brigade is for. They'll deal with it. Says one of the passers-by, and the Gallus tries to point out that that's actually not what the Wild Brigade is for, but the person's already gone. So he looked crestfallen, but he keeps trying. Think that scene from Life of Brian. It's not unlike that. Do you do anything?
Tempted to get up there and try to freaking get the crowd to believe this guy.
He actually spots you, and he says, "Oh, please, a moment of your time. Defenders of Alderheart? Is that the title, or is that
Yes. Officer Nevermore. Nice to meet you.
A pleasure. My name is Havel of the Autumn Moon. This is my friend Tevor of the Spring Path, and the Luma, who is quite a bit shorter, and actually, yes, we have them. Thank you very much, Serum. This is Tevor and Havel. Up on screen there. So that is artwork from the original Humblewood book. So these are official people, proper. They look with definite fondness at each other. They seem quite close. And Havel says, I I'm glad I ran into you. I wanted to thank you. When you stopped the raid on that caravan outside the gates, 2 good friends of mine were in that caravan, and they both lived thanks to you. It was a great thing that you did. I must admit to a small amount of jealousy. I wish I were able to do as much for the people as you have.
You are
rather
really,
but he looks rather sickly and weak. He's clearly not a very physically able person. And Tevor turns to him and says, "Havel, if you could go out there, you wouldn't be so quick to want to."
I mean, it's awful and horrible out there, and but
Exactly.
you're doing the right thing. You're right. There's a hell of a lot going on, and there's burning, and there's death, and what was it again, Jude? Sorry, fire and death. Thank you. Yes. But you're doing a great thing, and you don't.
He's
need
one
to
of
be out
our.
there.
He's one of the trainers. He's one of the teachers here at Alderheart. He teaches the next generation of tenders, who then go out and do the thing. Anyone can go and do it. It's not everyone can teach.
Well, I mean, I speak for myself, but I'm sure the rest of the group here, the defenders, agree that potentially, why don't we back these people and use our name to say the defenders are supporting the tenders, chicken tenders.
It's not as funny. You're also a bird. Like
I know. Yes.
Mr. Autumn Moon, sir,
Yes.
how can we help stop the fire and death?
Havel says, well, I think your actions already have made a huge difference. But someone's got to go out to the Scorched Grove and find out what's going on there. And Tevor once
I
again.
am a detective.
Well, Tevor puts a hand on Havel's shoulder and says, "You can't send them there. I saw what things inhabit that place. No one would come back from it." And it's at that point that a messenger arrives. A member of the Perch Guard, a raptor woman, and she arrives with a message for Teva, saying that he is called before the council to an emergency session. And then she sort of does a double take and realizes the 4 of you guys are there as well. And says, and they're massively out of breath and just incredibly grateful to see that. I don't have to find you guys either. Amazing, great. The council also requests your presence if you're not too busy. They have a request of you. Would you follow me?
Of course.
Sure.
Cool. So they lead you up to the canopy to the council chambers, and there, my friends, we shall take a break. Ladies and gents, it's so lovely to have you guys back in chat. It's so great to see everybody. We will be we'll take a little 5-minute break, and then we will be back to explore what happens next. Thank you very much. Take us away, Serum. We will be... Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Humblewood. Oh, it is good to be back. It's lovely to be back, hanging out with all of you lovely people on Roll for Damage. Before the break, we did a bit of shopping. We did a bit of catching people up, and we discovered that there's maybe a celestial or a demon in Nevermore's eye, and we don't know which. It could be good, could be bad. We don't know. It's awful. And now he can speak angelic or celestial now, which is pretty sick. And apparently, when angels talk, it sounds like running water. Yeah, that. Sounds like that. It doesn't. I do need to quickly shout out to our amazing sponsors, Wootenforge. Go to wootenforge.com to see all of their amazing things. They make handcrafted wooden accessories for gaming and tabletop play, and they like dungeon master screens and little dice boxes. It's absolutely beautiful stuff, all made out of Australian and exotic woods. Wootenforge.com, check them out. They are lovely, and they are sponsoring this show this season, which is exciting for us.
It smells so good.
Of course it does. They're also local to WA, and there will be a giveaway towards the end of the season of some of their things, which is exciting as well. Anyway. Yep.
The counters to solve the gap.
Leave that one right there. Yeah. So, you have just been called to the council chamber. The council are all there in emergency session. The chamber is absolutely full of people, humble and birdfolk alike, and all those assembled clamor over each other. Their pleas desperate. Some are urging for an immediate removal of all the tenders from the Scorched Grove before more lives are lost. Others are calling for a mobilization of the Perch Guard or the Wildwood Brigade to meet the monsters head on. Still more are insisting that Benna get her brigade on it like now. It seems everyone has an opinion and is fighting to be heard. Tevor and Havel arrive with you guys and standing patiently off to the side of the rabble. As the party enters, Bitter, who is seated in the middle of a long table at the front of the hall, raises her feathered hand, and after 20 or 30 seconds, things slowly calm down. The silence in the hall is almost overwhelming by contrast to the noise that filled it moments before. Thank you all for heeding our summons so quickly. The wood is in great need, and many of our tenders have already paid the dearest of prices to protect it. We hope you will hear our plea and offer your formidable skills in the most dire of circumstances. Bitter continues by describing clouds of ember bats in larger numbers than have ever been seen. She speaks of strange fire creatures sighted in the wood and how they have injured many travelers. She then talks about the missing tenders and reports of a huge unknown creature stalking the ash plains of the grove. Something must be done, which is why the council has called upon the defenders of Alderheart. No good deed and all that. I now call Tevor of the Spring Path, who was the most recent to witness this strange new creature. Tevor steps up to the front of the room, obviously intimidated by being in front of so many people. Well, I saw the ash plains seize up, as if something were burrowing through. The creature never broke the surface, so I was unable to get a good look at it. It grabbed my mentor, Vale, though. I saw her get sucked under the ash. To my shame, I just ran until I was safe at the edge of the Scorched Grove. He is obviously shaken by his account, and there is a hush in the room. It feels like very few are judging the young man. Havel puts a claw on his shoulder. There was nothing you could have done. She would have wanted you to live. Havel, says Bitter, will you find someone to guide the defenders to the area of the Scorched Grove that the creature was last seen in? And immediately, Tevor puts his hand up. Havel tries to hide it, but it's clear that Tevor is determined. I saw it last. I know where it was. I'll go if they're prepared to take me.
Well, somebody has to deal with it, and seems like we're best equipped at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
No
Peter,
more fire and death.
Agree? Everybody agree?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Well done. Thank you very much, all of you, once again. Rewards, accolades, praises when you return.
Have you had any word from my father by chance? He'd probably be able to help in situations like this, and I haven't heard from him for a while.
Actually, I shall need to talk to you privately anyway, a little afterwards, and I shall share what I know.
Okay.
So you guys move off into a side chamber. This is clearly a preparation room for the council. She goes in with you. The other council members stay outside to talk to the crowd and disperse them, and Bitter comes in just with you. Is it just you, Nevermore, or is it the others as well?
I'm happy for the others to join me.
Very well. Tevor and Havel go to make their preparations and arrange to meet you at your lodgings before you head off. Bitter says, regarding your father, he has not been seen or heard from for some time. I believe his companion, Riffin, was searching for him, but Riffin would appear to be the last person who saw him, and some time ago.
Yes.
As I heard the story, Riffin was caught up in the fires. Lazarus pulled him out and brought him home and helped him recover. And that was the night saw of your father. Or indeed anybody saw of him.
That's not ideal. Well, I'll let you in on something that happened to me one evening while I was sleeping, and please no comments from any of you about the content of that dream. But basically, long story short, it was more than a dream and less a dream and more a vision, I would say. It felt incredibly real, and it seemed like my father was trapped, imprisoned, unable to act. I've passed this information on to Riffin, but I thought you should be aware. I wanted to see if he had just come back, and unfortunately he hasn't. So again, that just further confirms my suspicions that it was actually a vision. But I think potentially he may be trapped somewhere out of the Scorched Grove. So
well, no, I'm afraid I've heard nothing of the man since the sale of his property.
I beg your pardon?
He, his estate, it has been sold. He sold it.
No.
I'm afraid so. The new owners are quite a large Gerbine family.
I beg your fucking pardon? My home has been sold to Gerbines.
I don't know exactly the circumstances, but I believe he was raising funds for a particular endeavor. It's not really my business. I apologize. I did assume you were aware that he had...
No, I was not aware. My lake!
Well, the lake is still there. I'm sure that the family, the new owners, would be happy to let you use the lake.
Do you know who the owners are?
A goldfinch family, the goldfinch Gerbines.
Goldfinch Gerbines. Okay, thank you.
A well-respected family from the north of the wood. I believe Master Goldfinch is a trader.
Wow, I have nothing now. Great. Thanks for that. I guess we have to go into the burning realms, and I imagine
Lazarus.
I have nothing now. I have no father. He's gone. All I have is these plebs. So I walk out the door.
Bitter seems a little put out, but kind of she's a reasonable enough person to understand that this is bad news for Nevermore. And just feels a bit bad that she was the one that dropped it. But she says,
don't feel bad about it.
And
just let him vent for a bit.
Yes, he's not unlike his father in many ways, actually. Shame.
Do I know of the goldfinches?
Roll me a history check.
Another smart roll. Come on, Jude.
Yes, another -2.
It's not a particularly high DC, but let's see. It's a straight 0.
Advantage?
No, you've never heard of them. They aren't from where you're from, and you did not travel much before running away. So no, you have never heard of the goldfinch jabines. Yep, sorry. And you did not have advantage, I'm afraid. So yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and you take your leave, I presume. You hook up with Tevor, and he says there are 2 ways to get there. Well, there's an almost infinite number of ways to get there, but there are 2. It's either a quick way or a short way, really. It's quite a ways in. Well, no, it's not. It's relatively near the outskirts of the. Sorry, I'm babbling. I'm nervous. It's
That's
quite
okay.
near the edge of the grove, but it's on the far side of the grove from here. Is
He's
No,
fine.
go on, ignore me.
He's fine.
okay. It's a if we cut through the lower edge of the grove, it's maybe a 2-day journey, but more like 4 if we want to avoid going into the grove until the last possible moment.
Oh, I see
would
what you mean.
favor? It's sort of a more circuitous route, but safer. Though no route can really be said to be safe in that neck of the woods.
I say
Well-
2 days.
I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna fight something really big, we want to have as much of our strength as we can before we get there.
Yeah, but how much less dangerous is it to go the longer way than it is to go for the 2 days? You know what I mean?
I'm afraid I couldn't quantify it.
But Trish, 2 more days means more death and fire.
This is also true.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Let's say we could go the shorter way. We might actually. What if it's moved, right? We might actually.
There is that
have-
as well. It could move very fast. I didn't see it, but it could burrow very quickly. Is your friend all right?
I'm feeling faint.
He's fine.
He'll be fine. He's just a bit dramatic. Look, unless Nevermore has any strong feelings either way, I'm happy to.
Whatever, I'm a peasant now.
Would you like us to rest, Muffin?
As
Gold.
Havel puts a claw on the chicken tenderly puts his claw on your shoulder, Nevermore, and says, well, I'm sure there are more important things in life than I mean, your renown. Think of your renown. You could get a good gold will flow, I'm sure. When the council will be very grateful.
I think so.
I'm sure.
Look,
wanna-
Nevermore, there are worse things than being poor. You could have been maimed. Oh,
You bitch.
well, you are being so dramatic. I've been a poor all my life, buddy. It's not so
I've
bad.
never been poor, and look at you. I don't want to be like you.
You'll be fine. You're smart.
Oh.
You'll be all right.
Hold on, Nevermore. You're
Poverty
saying...
is a state of mind anyway. and
Am I
finance.
supposed to? Oh, let me guess. I'm rich because I have friends. Oh.
Nevermore.
Yes,
Can,
Jude.
can everyone roll a perception check? You carry on, but yeah. I'm sorry, Jude.
Nevermore, you've never been rich. Your father has been rich. Now you can make your own gold.
Rachel, Trish, you definitely spot this. When he makes his angry comment about being rich because of your friends, a smile is shared between Havel and Tevel, and it's very warm. You get the impression that these two are more than friends, basically, and they consider themselves rich because of that and because of their relationship.
Cute.
Yeah.
Whatever,
yeah,
I'll get over it, I'm sure.
Would you like my gold, Nevermore?
No, can I have a muffin, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Would you like to go to sleep? I can get Pierre to stab you and you can go to sleep.
What? No!
Okay, great.
No,
I was
no,
just
sorry,
checking.
please. Just, sorry for all the drama. Tevel and Havel, just please continue.
All right. Well, Havel sees you to the gates and leaves you there, and Tevel says, like you're on the road, and Tevel says, "Oh, short or long?"
Short. I think we've decided.
Okay.
Whatever.
I agree. So yeah, you take the short path, and Josh kills the music because that's not the right music. for
I'm
this
doing
thing.
walking things, but we're on a cart. I'm just doing this.
Trish, what's it like to be a peasant and poor? Is it
It's
hard?
liberating. I can do whatever I want and no one cares. There's no standard. I could be whoever I want to be. It's fine, and you're gonna be fine.
I mean, Trish has spent her entire life in pursuit of the acquisition of wealth. So a bit of a hypocrite, but sure.
Nevermore, I do not know what it is like being a peasant, but I do know what it is like to sleep in a chimney and be kicked down the stairs every day. So I think poverty is better than that. Yes?
I guess so.
Fair point.
Yes. I mean, look, here's another way of looking at it, I suppose. I guess I haven't really had any money since leaving home, have I? Other than the money that I've made.
And you've been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. And you've done really well. That's Havel. And you've done really well. There you are, that's Teva.
Okay. I'm gonna miss that boat, though. Maybe the Jabines would let me go for a sail for old time's sake.
They might.
I know that that's a bit nostalgic, but there's also a lake in my village, if you remember that. It's there.
It's fine.
Okay, so
Sorry.
you guys travel for 2 days. You get to the edge of the Scorched Grove, and every mile you get closer, Tevel's shoulders just go up just a little bit. The guy is being super brave for a not particularly useful person. Like he's no pushover, but he's out of his depth and he knows it, and he is doing his best. You while nearing the Scorched Grove here. Here we go. Boop. Let's do that. While nearing the Scorched Grove, or just as you enter the Scorched Grove, you begin to hear far off in the distance a faint sound. The sound quickly grows louder into a cacophony of screeches. And long before you can even see the source, a great cloud of ember bats consuming the sparse forest to the north. They are still a distance away, but you can feel the combined heat of their bodies even from here. So these are the little bats with little candles above their heads.
Everybody get your candles ready.
Less work last time.
A bright and mysterious orange light can also occasionally be seen amongst them, just a glow. Tevor, he's obviously trying to sound calm when he says, so, I would advise strongly against rushing in. They can be possibly diverted but it's burning. Just don't get too close. It's very hot.
Wait, it's over there, like in the burning spot. And
Yes,
where
well,
all of them are.
it's working its way towards you. The ember bats and the fire are pretty much one and the same.
Yeah, they want to go. If I recall correctly, they want to go through flammable things, right?
Actually, Helvig, can you make me a nature or survival if you're proficient in either? Because you're the one who is making the observation. There you go. Do that.
And survival, but I'm better at nature.
It's hard to discern, but they seem to be crowding around something, like they're trying to get at something that's in the middle of them. This huge cloud.
Well, like, they're not. It's fire. It's on fire because of their proximity, but they're not actually setting things on fire. They're trying to deal with what's. Oh.
Yeah.
I say that.
It's hard to say, like, with that roll, it's hard to say if they're attacking the thing or they're just super interested in it.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna come for us unless that thing is gonna drift over here.
We just assess what we're going to do with this thing, like attack it or something, and how are we going to do that?
Do
Like,
anything?
If it's on fire and it's as hot as I suspect it is, what are we going to do?
Nevermore, can you make me an investigation or insight, whichever you're better at?
Cool. I will make an investigation check. +6 versus -1. Yeah, let's go the investigation. These are basically directly in your path to where you want to go, and they are setting the place on fire. This is a major impediment to your journey. Getting past is going to be quite difficult. How long would it take us to go?
You'd have to backtrack like all the way back to the edge and go around pretty much. Like, this is how bad the fire is going to get if you just leave these things.
Thoughts, anybody?
Do we see any living things evacuating towards our direction?
So the Scorched Grove was not a heavily inhabited thing by woodland creatures, but you do see the occasional hardy ferret or other small woodland creature running, squirrels, that sort of thing, running along the ground, where they would not normally. Like, a lot of these creatures are tree dwellers that don't go down to the ground unless they really need to. Not a lot of them, though.
Helvig.
Yeah.
You know your beautiful little dragonfly?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how it's expendable? Can you potentially send it?
It's a bit mean, but sure.
Well, really, if you think about it in a technical sense, you can just bring it back again.
It can still feel pain, Nevermore.
Well, whatever.
Helvig Pia is super keen on it.
Why don't you send?
Okay.
Pia is watching the cloud, and what it's hard to say, but either you would actually know because you're attuned to this thing. It is watching what is at the middle of the cloud intently. It's super keen on it.
Is it safe to say that over our time together since you've found Pia, you've kind of given us a bit of an idea, a vague idea of what you're able to do with Pia?
Probably.
I think so.
Do you think Helvig would have said that?
Yeah.
Nevermore would be familiar enough with familiars as well.
Yeah. Potentially send Pia towards it to scout ahead, to see whether or not it's safe for us to approach, or whether or not we do need to head back.
Pia seems keen on this idea. Like, Pia wants to get closer to that thing.
He appears keen.
Have you become a father in the last 9 months? Is that what's happened?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I'll look over at Pierre if you really want to go.
And Pierre goes, and swoops off your shoulder, and it's sort of like it doesn't fly the way a bird flies. It sort of almost swims through the air. It's very much that sinuous, lithe. The way a snake swims, it flies that way towards the thing. And
go into peer vision.
you see it. You see through its eyes.
Through his eyes. Come on.
I'm not. I refuse to go as far as you do. Yeah, you can see him get closer to the bats, and then it's almost like, and they are moving in much the same way that like Tunis, in a ball, like in a big school. The bats are doing something similar, and then Pierre joins the swarm. Like it's very. Can you roll me a Constitution check, please? Because it's vertiginous is the word. It's really quite upsetting to be in the eyes of a creature. It's like, oh yeah, no, you're fine. It's sort of like VR sickness. You're you're looking through the creature that ain't moving. Yeah, your inner ear is going all over the place.
Jude got called into that dance circle? Is it?
Pierre is in control of what he's doing. Helvig told him to go close to the thing and find out what it was, and he really, really wanted to, but he's not bewitched by it. He just is really keen on it. Then he gets to the middle of the swarm, and you see this glowing orb. It's orange glowing orb, and through Pierre vision, and you do get the impression that this is because you are seeing through his eyes, the orb is made up, every now and again, a firefly comes out of it. And then goes back in. And
it's like a miniature sun, and then the
yeah, and it's like a
fireflies
zoomed in version of the sun. So you see the sort of little arcs of fire come out of it every now and again, and the occasional firefly, and occasionally, like more than once, Pierre, in the sort of minute or so he is in there, sees an ember bat swoop in and eat a firefly. Coming out of it.
I just go.
You go.
I just start running.
What's it?
Towards it or away from it?
Towards it.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Helvig!
Pierre really likes it as well, and tries to swoop at one of the fireflies as well.
Okay.
But misses. But he tries to eat it too. So Helvig is running towards this. I might put the battle map up.
Damn it, we should have kept the leash on Helvig, not Jude. Damn it.
It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a fight.
Not that fast.
But it might be helpful to at least see what we're looking at.
Oh my god, they're huge.
It is the cloud qualifies as a huge creature.
Oh no!
Oh god.
Hi, Zabel. Salvador. Nice to see you. Viscous Fae. Oh,
Okay,
here we are. There it is.
Where do I?
So, yeah,
spawn
place
myself?
yourselves so you can see Tevor there. Helvig, you are presumably closer
Tevor's
than
in.
Tevor.
Yeah.
But everybody else, place yourselves around
I'm pretty
Tevor.
slow.
Yeah. And Pia is in that breeding ball of ember bats.
I know that I can speak to Pierre telepathically, but I'm just really stressed out, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. Pia can't respond verbally, but you get the distinct impression that he likes it in there and doesn't want to leave. And you just hear him say, Pia.
It's a Pokemon.
Yeah, he can only say his own name. Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. I can remember everyone now. So, the thing in the middle is like a ball of the firefly thingies.
But it's like I try and summon some around me.
You do.
Keep them close.
Like your fireflies?
Comparison?
So it's maybe not bad.
Yeah.
The Emberbats are super interested in it, but Helvig, as far as you can tell, they look like fireflies are fireflies. They look like your fireflies.
And they're being like harassed with those things, and there's so many of them, but
Are we protecting it? Is that what's going on?
I go back into pure vision. I mean, they're fireflies, but do their movements ever seem distressed at all, or are they just vibing to get eaten?
No, they see it does. All right, roll me an insight. Or potentially, are you
no
more?
way.
Yeah, okay.
No.
It's really hard to say if this glowing orb that occasionally emits fire and fireflies is bothered.
Yes, they're very fair, very fair.
It doesn't appear to have any. It appears to be drifting aimlessly, not in any particular fashion, but generally tending northwards.
What's
Doesn't
north
appear to
from
have
here?
intent.
Is north from here more grove?
It's deeper into the grove, which is where you're heading.
Okay, so are we approaching it, or are we going to follow it from a distance, since it
think we
seems to be
should-
going in that direction?
Maybe we should follow it?
I mean, we could follow it for a little while and see what happens, since it is going that way.
Sure, you can do that.
But-
You have to be at a at a fair distance, and the fires that it is starting. Tevor says, "I have seen these before, though never quite as many, never quite as large a cloud. But to judge from the devastation, it only formed recently." He looks over to, looking in the path that it's come from. The real proper burning is only about sort of half a mile long.
We
As
should
in-
investigate where it came from.
Yeah. That seems like a smart idea, detective.
Detective Littlefoot.
And Tevor goes, "It's not a bad idea." Chop, you do that. So you try and backtrack. It's relatively easy. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. It's pretty easy to tell where the fire started because it's gone in a pretty straight line. And the fire is obviously emanating out from where it started. The trick of it is, if it started in a place, that place will be on fire. Quite badly. It'll have been burning longer than anywhere else has, so it's been quite badly burnt. But you can definitely determine where it was, and Tevor will say, "Best guess there," and sort of point the place out. But he is keeping his distance. The fire is extremely hot. You are about as close as you can get comfortably not comfortably, but without injuring yourselves.
I tell
And
Jude
you
to
are
stay.
maybe 100 feet away from the edge of the blaze.
I drink my potion of fire resistance and walk in.
Mechanically, I do want to stress that it's
Yeah.
resistance, not immunity.
I was about to say, have you read what
You
it
do
does?
not
Just to
become
be sure.
completely immune to fire. It just halves the damage, so it'll still burn you you'll burn to death within a minute rather than 30 seconds is the point.
But does Jude know that?
Jude does not mechanically understand how the potion works.
Nope.
No. Oh,
Nevermore
no.
does.
Can I?
Nevermore
Oh,
has
100 gold
sufficient
pieces.
experience with magic to know that that's how that works.
I did not know that you even purchased it for starters. I don't think I did I?
I will announce it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did. I will drink my potion.
Jude, don't drink it yet. Don't drink it yet.
Why not?
Okay, question. Are you planning on drinking it and then walking into the flames?
Yes,
It doesn't work that way. Okay.
but it is fire resistance.
I know. Okay, so
And
there's
Tevil
resistance,
says
and then
resistance,
there's-
not
yes.
immunity.
What
Yes,
is
so-
immunity?
Okay, so if you're resistant to something, it will hurt you a little bit less. If you're immune to it, it will not hurt you at all. So what you have there will mean that you will still burn to death, just slower.
And Tevil says, which if you think about it, it's almost worse.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. So that's
Useful
not
in
going to
combat
work.
against fire creatures, but against just being on fire, not as good.
But it's
Smart
there,
thinking,
though.
though. Smart thinking.
Useful, not a bad thing to have.
Good job.
Dude.
Yeah, let's not kill you.
Oh, the volume on this a little bit.
I tell Kid to stay by the cloud and like just leave if he ever gets like in trouble.
I do not understand why they call it fire resistance. Why don't they call it a little bit less fire damage?
Can we talk about this after we're away from all the burning and the flames?
Yes, fine.
Tevor
Yes.
actually says, well, actually, no, my dad is an alchemist. I know why they call it that.
Tevor, please,
Sorry,
don't encourage it.
Well, how are we gonna get there? We're supposed to get there, right?
Tevil says, will you allow me? And he puts his hands out in front of him, and from the tips of his claws, ice sheets out. You can tell that this would not work against, like, it's not a weapon. It's a fire extinguisher. And so he uses his hands to basically, it is a cold mist is coming out of the tips of his fingers. And it is slowly creating a path of not on fire anymore to where you're wanting to go. It takes him about 20 minutes with you clustered around him, and he is basically holding his arms out, fighting the fire, but you can get there with, basically, can I get con saves from all of you?
I have the cantrip Frostbite now.
Yeah.
So I might be able to, if I see any flames get too close to us that escapes Tevor's sight or notice, I'll try to kind of cast the Frostbite spell.
Is this con a saving throw?
A con save, yes.
I would like to cast Bless on my compadres.
Oh, sure, you do that. Yeah, great. Trish and Nevermore both pass it with flying colors. Helvig, even a bless will not help you. But Jude, you can cast it on yourself.
I will cast it on myself.
Yeah. No, 6 is still not enough. But don't worry, I rolled exceptionally poorly. You take 3 points of fire damage.
I am doer.
Actually, come to think of it, you take 3. Yeah. Jude, you if you cast it on yourself, you can add a D4 to that.
How do I do that?
Just roll a D4. Just on the left-hand side of your screen, there is a little D20, and then you just click the D4. Hey, that makes it 11. You take 3 as well, I'm afraid, but only 3.
Only 3.
Cool. And Tevor, I should actually roll for Tevor, hey. Seeing as he exists. Tevor, make a con save. He's not proficient with it, so he also takes 3 damage. And there are beads of sweat on his brow, and he's fiercely concentrating, but he gets you to the area. However, he's going to be useless when you get there. He is just keeping the fire at bay.
That's not useless at all. That's so good.
But yeah, for determining what caused the fire, his intention is entirely on preventing it from getting any worse. He said, if I was better, I'm still quite new at this. My master.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing amazing. Okay,
well,
we'll do
what you do, because I don't know how. I've got another 20 minutes of this maybe.
Okay.
What do I, as a detective, perceive?
Jude, make a wisdom save.
Not all of us.
Saving throw?
Yeah.
Jude is going to. You can all make investigation checks, but with the exception of Trish, you will all also need to make wisdom saves.
A 17.
Then you are fine. Trish finds nothing. Nevermore. Helvig, you are fine. Nevermore, you ain't. So Nevermore, you remember that music that you heard?
Oh god. The
the-
cantina music from
Yeah.
Star Wars.
The Magmin, the Magmin little fire goblins. You hear that music again. You haven't heard it in a while. But yeah, you hear that furious ra. Helvig, it does not appear to get through your thick skull though. It's actually kind of appropriate. So Nevermore, you rolled the highest investigation, but you're the only person that it doesn't affect. Jude got a really rubbish. Oh, did you investigate, Jude? Oh, 10.
Yes,
Yeah.
10.
So yeah. However, Nevermore, you also find in the ground a rune similar to the one you found. It's the Furious Ra rune. And if you point it out, Helvig will immediately spot it.
Okay, so you know that music that we've encountered in the past? I don't know about any of you, but I'm hearing it right now, and that's generally not a good thing.
No.
Helvig, if you want to, you can immediately hear it, but you don't have to. Your wisdom was high enough to prevent you from you from hearing it.
That's bad. That's why I not think about it.
Oh, I
Tr-
love that music.
Yeah, that's-
Furious rap. Furious rap.
Oh no, no, la la.
Jude, stop it!
la.
Okay, I think we need to get out of here. Do we need to find anything more? Can we please get out of here now?
Wait, what happened
Tevor
to-
says, what is Furious Ra?
It
There's
is a
some-
magical rune.
It sounds like Ignan.
What?
Ignan, is that
The language of the
language,
fire
right?
elementals.
Oh, do you know
Probably.
much of it?
I don't speak it, but it's some of the Havel might.
Oh,
It's
well, that's unfortunate for us right now, surrounded by flames without Havel.
Nevermore, could you replicate the rune before when you like drew it with your brain?
I beg your pardon?
Like, can you remember what it looks like?
Oh, absolutely, I can remember perfect vision.
actually what's kind of fun. You can't. Fixing it in your head is you remember, you know that like everything you Neville might looking around, you can see like the branches of one of the burning trees form the shape of the rune, but it's more that the shape of the rune decides to be that shape to imprint itself upon the world, rather than the rune doesn't possess a shape. It is an idea, and it imposes itself upon shapes. And the reason, Nevermore is the only one intellectual enough to sort of be able to maybe wrap his head around that sort of concept. But yeah, this is
Unfortunately, Mitchell is not.
kind of the language is. Tevor would say it's not something that you can really write. I think it's more it's a primordial language. It's the language of creation. So the words and the things that they are the same thing.
Right. Can we please get out of here? I think we found everything we need, unless Jude, yes, what? Yes?
I have a passive perception of 15.
Wow.
Did I notice anything else?
Passively, no.
Okay.
This is the trick. If you want to actively perceive for something, your perception would be +5, so you could actively perceive for something.
I will perceive the space.
Yeah. It's passive is more for detecting things that
Never mind.
just happened to be there.
Oh.
A 9. There's just a lot of fire. It's really it's not hard. It's not easy to look beyond. You would probably be expecting to see little fire goblins. You don't see any little fire goblins, but the flames, some of the flames seem to be dancing. But you can't hear the tune.
Is it just me, or is the fire dancing?
Don't fires normally dance?
No, like particularly good dancing, like
Oh.
to a tune.
I don't know an awful lot about this, but it's probably not a great idea to look too closely at the dancing fire.
Well, I've done it before. But
How did
as
that
a
go?
detective, I would say that fire goblins are at play here.
Okay, can we leave?
Can we? Yes.
Tevor
Before we
basically.
go,
Oh, yeah.
as Tevor leads us out, does the rune show any particular change, or was there like a
Did you
I
look
don't
for
know,
it?
like a remnant of its like activation to summon the flies, and now it's like dimming down or something?
Did you look for the rune?
I would if I could pointed it out.
Yeah. Then you saw it and you can hear the music. It's
Ah,
sort of
shit.
you get the you would suspect that the music and seeing the rune are the same.
Fuck.
It doesn't seem to be bewitching you, but you can definitely hear the music. There doesn't appear to be. You're looking at it with Helvig's eyes?
Yes, because
Yeah.
Pier's in the cloud.
Oh wow, you
Wow.
left him there.
Yeah, I told him to leave if it ever gets it like dicey. If the bats are like, these are our fireflies, I'm like, just
Sure.
leave,
No,
man.
he hasn't come back. Yeah, cool. Yeah, then no, it does not appear to look anyway. It appears inert. It's moving, but only in that there's a lot of fire around, and that seems to excite it.
Do I know if Pierre can see through this?
Hey,
Do I know if I should try with Pierre?
roll me an insight check to see whether or not you would think of that.
'Cause he's got like the glowy eye things that. Oh,
You could. It does occur to you that you have that seeing things through Pierre's eyes. Like you did get the impression that you saw the fireflies because you were looking at the fireball through Pierre's eyes. And so maybe seeing stuff through Pierre's eyes, you see things a little differently. You do know that his senses are different to yours. Like you have better sense of smell when you're in his head.
I call Pierre over. I just go like.
It takes him a little
drone
minute to get
style.
there.
Yeah,
And
drone style,
Pierre
just like look down.
does not appear to be bothered by the fire at all.
Oh,
Like the heat of the
nice.
flames, not a problem. He just shows up. And Pierre,
Yeah,
you
can you
look
have a
through
look
it
at this thingy as we retreat because it's on fire, my guy.
in investigation.
For Pierre. Although we're
Or
both.
perception. Or perception.
Oh,
It would actually be perception because he's just looking. He's not actually trying to figure anything out.
17.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. So, Pierre, you get the distinct impression like Pierre's like a little confused when you were like, "We gotta go, my guy." The fire and everything. He looks at you like he cocks his head to the side. Says, Pierre, and you get the feeling like he's confused and was like, "What do you mean the fire? What's wrong with the fire? Why are you worried about that?" And then he does what you asked, and he looks at the rune. And he looks at it for maybe 10, 15 seconds, and you're like, it doesn't appear to do anything. He can very clearly see it. In fact, if anything, it's a little bit more highlighted through his eyes than it would be through yours. And you're just about to go like, screw this, when you see a firefly just jump out of the rune and then go right back into it. It's almost a flicker. It's almost like you almost feel like you didn't see it, but you're pretty sure you did.
Have I tried touching one before?
Sorry?
I say out loud.
Have you tried? Oh, sorry.
Touching.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have I tried touching one before of the thingies?
the runes.
Yeah.
I do not
Oh,
remember
wow.
what I did last time. though.
No one's touched one.
Oh, that's
You were all
so dumb.
super cautious about it. I think someone set a fire on one, and another goblin came.
Didn't we just leave it and put up a sign?
Yeah.
we did.
After the
So
second time when you messed around with it and another goblin came,
Oh, this
and you
is
all just
so
nuked it.
dumb. I shouldn't do it.
You definitely shouldn't do it.
God, I know I'm gonna do it, so I just say I do it. Josh, I do it.
Okay. So what do? You touched it?
Yeah.
What is everybody else doing? Because Helvig has said, has anyone ever actually touched one before? What does everybody else do?
Nope, definitely haven't. Definitely wouldn't. To be stupid.
Doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
I think you should investigate everything.
With your eyes, not your hands.
Tevo's like,
God.
I don't. So Helvig, you reach out. How do you
I
do
the
this?
thing. Can I like cast Mage Hand over my hand just so it also like has the fireflies and see if
Like
it,
a glove?
like a
Oh, sure,
glove,
yeah,
but I know
yeah.
it's not
So
a
you have
glove.
a glove worth of. Oh man, that's worse. You have a glove of fireflies surrounding your
Oh,
hand
no.
as you touch the rune,
What?
and Helvig disappears.
Wait.
It's actually sort of like there's an outline of him. If anybody was looking at him, there is an outline of fireflies. Like his outline becomes fireflies, and then just sort of like sucks down into the rune.
To me.
Ah!
And I think we'll leave it there, you know.
No!
How's that for a fucking cliffhanger?
Ah!
I knew it. I knew it was gonna be bad.
Oh,
Put it
wow.
anyway.
We're putting the leash on Helvig from now on. Jude's off the
Yeah.
leash.
Oh, dude, that was
Anything
great.
firefly related, don't let me touch them.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. I had to figure out. That had me. I was like, wait, what would? Oh no, I know exactly what would happen. Oh no, I did not expect you to do that. I'm super glad you did. Like, that's amazing. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna call it there. Yeah.
I'm dead.
Oh, you ain't dead. But I'm
Oh.
not gonna. I'm gonna have to take a week to figure out what the fuck you are. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Gosh, take a moment, take a breather. What do we think? What do we think, chat?
I mean,
That was-
I'm not touching a fucking rune. What the hell?
So, thank you so much, everybody, for coming and watching, and guys, thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much. I have missed the fuck out of this. I have missed working with these incredible role players and these incredible actors and people. Thank you so much to the Deck of Many for your incredible work writing this source book. This has been a delight. It always is. I'm going pretty far off the script at this point, but yeah, there's some incredible work that they did in the background, and Havel and Tevor are just a gorgeous couple. They're in the book. They both are. They are supposed to be a couple. I'm not loading that in on top of it, but it's so lovely and subtly done. I also want to thank our fabulous sponsors, Wooten Forge, purveyors of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. Check them out at wootenforge.com. Now, as with last season, I would love people to give me some favorite moments. Chat as well. Stick up your favorite moments. Yes, Serum, I adore favorite moments. It's my favorite thing. I love doing it. It's affirming and it's good and it's healthy and it's lovely. So we will do favorite moments, then we'll do our sign-offs, and then we will pass over to Serum for a raid. I'm feeling either Fried Dice Paradise or Charlalo, or possibly Agent Number 1 is playing. That'll be fun. I let Serum choose. Dealer's choice, buddy. But let's have some favorite moments. So can we, we'll do Helvig first. Nelderberry, you got us started. So Helvig buying the gloves for Trish was super cute. Yes, it was. So, Dan, favorite self moment, my friend. I know what my favorite Helvig moment is.
Don't say touching the rune. Don't say it.
They're disappointed.
My favorite moment was getting rid of the piece of paper.
Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah.
Pieces. That was such a No, I was gonna give it to charity, and I was like, oh wait, convenient present for Trish.
Yeah, that's good. That was super cute. Yeah. And yeah, I love that that's a part of him and we hadn't really thought about before, but I love that Dan immediately is like, no, having this much money stresses him out. Yes. Jude, sorry, AJ, do you have one assumes you have a favorite Helvig moment?
I love Helvig so much. I can't. But my favorite, I think there was a few times, but Helvig got really trendy this episode. He kept on calling people my dude, and I was like, along the road to Alderheart, where did Helvig pick up this language? And I like to think that it was Benna Seridan. I like to think.
I don't know if I could say my dude in her accent. Helvig, my dude. You are. It is always pleasant to be traveling with you, my dude. Yeah, no, it actually sits quite nicely. It just took me a minute. Yeah.
Canon, that's great.
That is canon. Yeah.
That's where all this trendy speech.
I love the little trendy moments from Helvig.
She has a formal way of speaking, but when she's not being formal, when she's comfortable, she says my dude quite a lot. Great. Thank you, AJ.
You're welcome. Thank Dan for this language that he brought in to Helvig today. It was great.
Mitch, you big old Viking, you. What's your favorite Helvig moment?
I'd have to say Helvig convincing, or at least attempting to convince the spiders that are residents of Eliza's that potentially they should vacate and move somewhere else. I thought that was a nice little twist there.
That was gorgeous. Yeah. Rachel?
Touching the rune! Bring the chaos, baby! I love it! I love the chaos! Hell yeah!
Oh, it was so good.
That was great!
I refuse to say it.
It was so good, man. That would be my favorite as well. I am so grateful that you did that. I love it because you were like, no, this is stupid. This is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's an awful idea. I love being made to like, shit, how would that work? Oh no. Yeah, no, that was amazing. Yeah.
Before I start regretting, I'm already regretting.
Oh, so good. You thought you didn't like the dream sequence the first time. Okay. All right. Favorite. Let's say Trish moments. We've had a Trish already. I love the Josh. What the fuck am I gonna do here? Face. Helvig made what happened with the rune. Yeah. We have Tree, something like that. Trish could be worse. Could be maimed. Oh wait.
I had to. It sprung into my head, and then I had to say it.
Favorite self moment, Rach?
I really liked going with Nevermore to the church and our banter. That was fun. That was good.
Yes. I'm actually going to pile on top of that one because I adored that too because it gave me so many ideas.
Yep. I could see that you just,
I was just like,
onto the whole head exploding and not entering the church, and I was
setting
like,
on
you
fire.
bastard, you bastard, give us some ammunition. That was
so fun.
For sure.
Omi, okay. Hi, Omi. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Anybody else? Dan, favorite Trish moment?
What I actually like, I always go for the wholesome shit every time. when Nevermore walked out of the church, had a breakdown, and Trish was like, I was not going to actually make fun of you for what like all that was about. Was an operation. Yeah, we're gonna get you something nice. That's what you want? A fancy iPad? Cool, that'll make you feel better. It was like phone friend. He needed a friend and not like a banterer at that point.
Yeah, that was cute. Mitch.
Oh yeah, mine was definitely the whole. Was it kind of a combination of the two of yourself and Trish with the head exploding and yeah, be careful crossing a threshold. Oh no, you might explode. Just that whole thing just backfiring big time. But I feel like Nevermore's banter with Trish is always just on point. Because he can dish out the shit when it comes to being like, you're a peasant and all this kind of shit, and Trish just instantly gives it back.
She is what he needs.
It just takes everything with it was a pinch of salt or whatever it is.
Yeah. She is what he needs. Because Helvig will take whatever he dishes out, but he won't give it back. Jude is fairly oblivious to the whole business. He needs someone who will give as good as she gets. And sorry, AJ, you favorite Rachel moment?
My favorite Rachel/Trish moment was actually her recap.
Oh, thank you.
It was very brilliantly done with all the little sassy comments in there. It was awesome. I loved it so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I would also say the going off what's like, she gives as good as she gets, and she was a friend when he needed it, and then when he found out he was poor, she was like, oh, for God's sake, like she's just not taking his shit any further. That was great. Mitch, favorite Nevermore moment?
Oh Lord. Honestly, I think it was just the realization that his family fortune had been taken away from him. His lake with the boats that he sailed on was inhabited by some Jabines now, and he had nothing. And just his inability to kind of pay attention during the following conversation, because he was just too busy, like, racked with self-pity at the fact that he was now a lowly peasant pleb, poor like the rest of the scum.
I will piggyback.
Vicious Faye, I'm afraid we are over. We are doing feedback. Please watch the VOD. Come back, join us next week. Check it out on YouTube. It will be up by next Monday, I imagine. We'd love to have you back. But yes, we are doing favorite moments, and we are on Nevermore.
I will piggyback off yours, Mitch. I loved when we got pulled into a really serious conversation and you were just weeping. I almost broke. Like, it was so funny. And then you just did this. You were like, so good.
Yeah, amazing. Rach?
Well, I was going to say being a drama queen, but I will instead say, can we leave? Let's leave now. Can we go? Just saying what we all felt in that moment. Just like, yeah.
Yeah. Dan?
Oh boy. My favorite Nevermore moment was like realizing that something's living in their face, specifically the face though.
Yeah.
Not like not the eye, it's just the face, the most important bit.
Beautiful face.
My head can explode? What?
Yeah.
So good.
I really enjoyed chicken tenders.
Best pun today.
It was a solid pun. Yeah. My favorite Nevermore was Mitch. You set me up for so many amazing bits to fuck with you, and like it was great. I love that it's actually a Mitch thing, not a Nevermore thing, because we've said some lovely things about Nevermore. You you are always you are a joy for a DM because you give so much, you add so much to the story that there's always something I can bounce off that I can work in, that I can use, and it's so much fun to DM for you guys. Yeah. I've missed this. I've missed the hell out of this.
I've missed the fuck out of this group for sure.
Who haven't we done? AJ, favorite Jude moment.
Spider Jude.
Yes.
I saw the opportunity with a wand of web, and I was like, "This needs to happen."
Like, I don't need this item, but I'm going to spend 250 gold pieces so I can make this bit. I can make this.
It did not. Yeah, I did not
joke.
matter the price. I was like, I have a song.
It will be mine.
To do one song, one at every episode.
Oh,
Song an episode.
A bird and a raccoon walk into a church. 2 pages of canon is created in 2 seconds. Yep. Yes. The new sword was fun. Yeah.
Oh, me just playing with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. My favorite Jude bit was actually the bag. Was her getting her new bag. And yeah, investigating, showing off all the bits, getting to make that up with you, like figure out what that was and what that is, and yeah, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. I love being Eliza. Eliza's fun. Rachel?
Yeah, I was gonna say the sword too. Just your reaction when you got it was so precious. I was like, just your face lit up. It was beautiful.
when AJ realizes, or when Jude realizes the sword shrinks. Yeah, that
was so cute.
Yeah. Oh wait, I could have that. Yeah. Dan?
I'm glad that we're back because I missed the muffin miming. I love
the committing to eating the muffins. Yeah.
a very big like pile, and then when we're talking, just also eating a muffin.
Jude stressed 8 today.
No tears though, as Serum points out. Favorite Jude made a whole episode without Jude crying. We need more happy Jude. I'm like, oh well, next episode is going to be a bit troublesome then, isn't it?
Why is that? Josh, what's that? Huh?
No problem. It's probably nothing. Mitch,
It better be nothing.
favorite Jude?
I'd like to go both ends of this spectrum with Jude. One of them being still attempting to convince Nevermore that you can kind of eat your feels away by having some muffins, and just always never giving up on giving Nevermore muffins. And then in the mornings, fucking with Nevermore and shooting web all over him. Just like both ends of the spectrum, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I suppose we'd better do favorite DM moments.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My favorite DM moment, the bit I'm actually the most proud of was keeping a straight face while dropping that Nevermore was now poor. Because he's been poor for ages.
Yes.
The sale went through. Well, no, as in the sale, as in his dad sold up the place like before he saved Riffin, and I just never found a reason to drop it.
That's amazing.
That's great.
Bullshit.
And keeping a straight face while Beta very solemnly informs him that he's broke as shit and always has been. Like when he finds out that place was mortgaged to the hilt, he'll be even more upset. Yeah. Yeah, adventuring actually doesn't pay crazy well because you have to buy expensive armor. Yeah, that was my favorite. Like there were several bits that I was like, oh my god, I'm very happy with that, but I don't want to give too much away. I also enjoyed describing how the runes are. That was fun. Putting it into words was hard. Yes. Some other people tell me how great I am. AJ.
Well, fine.
Dan, if you have anything.
I was going to say, I'll jump in. I just want to commend you on your description of the church or chapel or whatever you wish to call it.
Oh, yeah.
the description that you gave of the fact that there weren't windows so much as it was like a thin cellulose that like the light shined through that made it green. I thought that description was fucking incredible, and it made like the whole place like very alive and vibrant. So yeah, kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
I really liked when you were playing Eliza and just vanished to create this thing on the fly. That was beautiful. That was a great moment.
I have to go with your voices and your little touching moments between the two new NPCs that we met. You nailed your character work tonight, for sure.
Thank you. The voice.
You know
So I always write just who the voice is next to them, and it's Owen Wilson. Was Havel, because that's as close as I can get to Owen Wilson. It was just like, think Owen Wilson, and that's the voice you'll get. That's sort of my prompt for that one. Yeah.
You know what, Josh?
What?
I like how you encourage me to do something stupid.
As Serum points out, the glee in your eyes when Dan says "mage hand at fireflies," and I go, "Well, that's much worse."
I didn't think.
Oh
you
no, I
did
did
much
it though.
encouraging in
I did it
fairness,
already.
Yeah.
I'm
that was
always
fun.
just so fascinated to like when you show a problem in front of us, and I'm like, how does Josh want this fixed? Because that's not what we're gonna do.
No. Genuinely thought, okay, let's have a nice simple combat just to get the whole season started off. Just kill the bats and move on. No. We're going to figure out where this started, what it was. Yeah, no, it's fine.
We're gonna get into the metaphysical nature of runes being idea incarnate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a form of enuncia. Yeah, great. Well, that was our favorite moments. Thank you very much for those who put them up in chat. I love this little appreciation tradition. It is really, and me too. We've inherited it from the dreaded GM, and I think it's really healthy and really nice.
And we do it across all our shows.
Yeah, we do it. I do it in theater as well. Like I made a point of it because it's affirming and it's good and it's helpful and it's healthy. Yeah, we're gonna say our goodbyes now, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, AJ, tell us a little bit about yourself and where we can find you.
Hi, I'm AJ Winters. I am a voice actor and storyteller. I DM the Academy of Xander on Thursday nights, so come join us at 8 p.m. AWST on Thursday for a very intense game this week with 2 special guests, which is
Agent
really...
still coming? Is Agent?
Yes, so
coming
Agent number 1's going to be back, and then we've got a second special guest as well joining for this week's episode, so it's going to be really intriguing. Come join. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram, where I keep you up to date with every little creative thing that I have got going at the moment. So come join me.
Excellent. Thank you very much, AJ. Dan, tell us about yourself in your real life meet space.
Oh, in the real life meet space. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm D-Rep in Twitch chat and also on Roll for Damage's Discord. Just a brief plug. Come hang out. There are pictures and stuff, and usually Siren posts a lot of questions that makes me like write stuff down for new character ideas because everyone there is so creative. Aside from that, you really can't find me anywhere because I'm a professional lurker in the For Real's life meet space, and I do everything I can, especially through all this nonsense of the past few years. But regardless, I love everybody, and show that love to the universe needs all the good vibes.
But it does.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dude. And then let's have Mitch.
What up, everybody? I am Mitch Earnshaw, and I am pretty much just here on Roll for Damage now. I don't stream on Twitch anymore, but I am so fucking glad to be back here with this amazing group of role players. I do have a Twitter. If you want to follow me on social media, the link will have just popped up in the chat there, and you will see just random shit posting of memes and cute kittens and people doing dumb stuff and sumo. So yeah, and if you haven't already, jump in the Roll for Damage Discord because it's great in there. And good to be back again. Thank you.
That it is. It is good to have you back, my friend. Rachel, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name's Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer and actor. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel Foucar. I also wrote a book. It's a sci-fi novel called The Rings of Mars, and you can get it wherever you get books on the internet.
And you have a podcast.
I do have one of those, yes.
Yeah. It's all good. You can see all of her stuff. She does more than the rest of us combined. Yeah, amazing. I genuinely don't know how you have time to do all the things you do. Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I am Josh the Pirate, and I have been your humble DM and storyteller of this evening. If you've enjoyed my face and voice tonight, you can find me in Paparotica at Fringe World, and I generally just infest the art scene in Perth. Alternatively, if you like the majestic voice but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, I am also part of the There Be Dragons crew. We're a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar and his little dragon Rosh. So yeah, you can check that out. Ep 28, I think, is being dropped pretty soon. It's getting pretty hectic. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. Thank you to Amazing Serum, who is our tech for this season, and it's a rubbish job because I do it for the Scales Above on Saturday. So good on you, mate. Well done. Yeah, we have other shows on the channel. We have the Academy of Xandar on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. AWST, and we have the Scales Above, as I previously mentioned, which is an excellent, hardcore, torturous, excellent game run by our Nova 1 with the Ruffians crew on Saturday mornings Australia time or Friday evenings America time. So come over and check that out if you like some really hectic, hugely stressful limbs get lost on the regular on that channel. It would be lovely to see you there. Beyond that, I think that is all of it from us. Go check out woodenforge.com for some cool stuff, and we will pass this over now to Serum76 for a raid. Oh, AJ?
Yes, we're going to go raid agent number 1.
Yes! Good call. Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Let us do that. So, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Catch you
Bye,
up
everybody.
next week.
Praying for Helvig.